Hello everyone. So this is our game MetaVillage. So MetaVillage is an immersive 2D mystery adventure game that fuses AI plus the blockchain technology. This AI helps us to create NPCs that are smart. These NPCs are AI driven. That is why their dialogues are generated every time, which because of which every game feels different. Also, every time the story is entirely different from the previous story because we are using the AI to create the story as well. Now coming to the storyline. So a relaxing trip with the friends to take a terrifying turn after a sudden incident. The main character then wakes up alone in a village and is not able to find his friends. Now, his main task is to interact with the villagers and get the clues of where his friends can be. If in the end of the game he is able to find the correct location that where his friend can be, then he wins the game. If he chooses a wrong location, there's then he's not able to find his friend and he loses the game. Now let's start the game. So let me go through the flow of the game. So the game starts. So user will have to connect the wallet first. And when the user connects the wallet, we will check on chain if the user is already registered on chain. If he is not registered, then we will register the user's name corresponding to his wallet address on our chain using this user registry contract. And after that, the user will be able to play the game. So let me just show you. I will connect the wallet as I've already connected the login. I've already registered myself on chain. That is why I'm able to see my username and I can start playing the game. Now the user can start the game in a single player mode. Now in the single player mode, user have two options: either play a non-stake game and a stake game. In the non-stake game, the user do not have to worry about how much like what is the time. You can just play the game just for the fun. But in the stake game, the user is already staking some money. He's taking some money and he's also choosing a challenge time in which he needs to complete the challenge in which he needs to complete the game if he wants to redeem the prize. If he's not able to complete the game within the challenge time, then he will lose his stake money. So I will just show you. So I start investigating. Now I have two options, non-stake and a stake. So in the non-stake, you can select the difficulty and you can go ahead and start the game. There is no staking that is involved. But in the stake game, as you can see, there is a timer. This is a challenge time which you think if you in which you think that you can complete the game. So I can select either 1 minute or 20 minutes, or I can like choose any time in between. Also, I can choose a amount that I want to stake. So if I want to stake 0.001 ETH, then I can choose this. If I want to bet a amount, I can choose this. Also, if I select a larger time, then I will be getting a much less reward. But if I select a very less time, then I'll be getting almost 2x of what I'm betting. So you can go ahead and start that. So after the user plays a stake game or a non-stake game, the actual game will start. So I will just show you in a non-stake game first, and then we'll come to the stake game. So I will accept the challenge. And now is the whole background of the story that is going to few days back. There is an accident that is happening. So the accident happened. Now I can just so now is the conversation between the villager and the main character, and this basically uh, is the conversation. So I can just skip this conversation, and now we are creating the story. I can show you in the logs. I can show you with the as you can see that we are creating the story, and you can see that we have created all the story. This is all the notes that we have created, and this is creating a story. These are like the village's name, and there is content, their backstories, etc., etc. Now coming to the game. Now as you can see, the story is completed. Now we are actually diving into the game. Now, into the game, the user will start interacting with the NPCs that are AI driven. So, in the end of the game, users have to select out of these five locations. And to get the hint of what the correct location can be, the user have to interact with the villagers present. So, he can just go to a villager and he can start interacting with them. I can just show you. So if I go to a villager, so as you can see, this is a villager. I can just press enter to talk. If I press enter, then it will be first getting the um, context of the previous game data of this user, like the previous game that he has played, the previous dialogues, etc., etc., which is a complex thing, and I will show you how the server works. So this is the dialogue that we have created. The user have to interact with all these villagers and get the uh, correct location. So this is the again we are getting the history, and just basically you have to basically go and start interacting with them, and in the end you have to choose a location. Now the user will have to gather hint about the location where his friend will be, and he has to choose the location in order to finish the game. Now, some of the NPCs will demand for an item in exchange for a conversation. As you can see that this villager was a kind villager. He gave me the information in the first attempt. But as you can see, if I go to this villager, then this villager requires villager requires a fishing rod. And if I press enter, this villager is not going to talk to me if unless I give him the fishing rod. So the user will have to search the map and find these items, and after the user has find that particular item, he will have to mint that item's NFT into his wallet and then trade off that item to the villager that was asking for that NFT. And all this logic is present in the game NFT contract. So this villager is asking for a fishing rod NFT. So I have to roam around the map and I have to uh, check where is the fishing rod is present. So I will just go to where the fishing rod is present because I already know the location. So as you can see, the fishing rod is present here. So I have to press M in order to mint the fishing rod NFT into my wallet. So I will just press M and please confirm with the wallet. The MetaMask pop-up will be there, and I can just. So as you can see that I am basically getting the Echoes item. So like all the items are Echoes item. So I can just confirm, and we will wait for the transaction to be sent. As you can see, the transaction is successful, and we have successfully minted the fishing rod NFT into our wallet. So I can just go to the inventory if I want to see how many NFT that I have. I will just go to the inventory, and you can see the fishing rod is present here. So I will just go to the villager that was asking for the NFT and make a trade. So I will just go to him, press enter, and then I will use this item. I will tap on this button, and after that, there will be a piece from wallet. As you can see that I'm trading off. So I'm basically giving the this Echoes item NFT away. So just we will wait for the transaction to happen. Now the transaction is completed, and now as you can see that this link villager was a lock villager just like this one. But now you can see it is free villager. You can just press enter and you can start talking with this villager. So I have pressed enter and we will wait for the dialogues to show up. As you can see that the dialogues have shown up. So now you have unlocked this villager by trading off the NFT to him. I will just close the conversation, and in inventory you can see the string dot is empty because you have traded it to the villager. Now, like you have to choose a location. Obviously, I do not know the answer right now, and there is a give up option also. You just have to hold it for 2 seconds, and the game will be killed. Now, choose location. I do not have the location, so I can just choose any random location. So there is nothing found at the this location. So there's a another catch here. So if the find user feels that he has found the correct location, he can make a guess. But only one guess is allowed for free. After that, the user will have to deposit some tokens to guess again. So as you can see that my first basically guess was incorrect. So I have to deposit 0.01 ETH in order to guess again. So I will click on deposit, and the transaction will open. I will press enter and wait for the transaction to happen. Now you can see that I can guess again. So like this is the way that you have to basically play this game. Now there are three endings that can be possible in this game. So the user is playing a non-stake game. In this there will be no reward for the user, but the user will be able to see the stats of the game, like how much NFT, how much time he has taken. If the user is playing a stake game and is able to complete the game within the challenge time, then the user can claim the reward using the claim reward function that will happen that will be you can see after you choose a correct location. And also after the transaction has successfully done, you can also copy the transaction as and verify it on the ether scan. So this is the way if the user is completing the game within the challenge time, he can basically get the reward as well. If the user is not able to complete the game within the challenge time, then he will lose his stake money and he will have to sign a transaction in the MetaMask accepting the defeat. So this is the game that you can basically play. So I will just show you a non-staking a staking game. Return to main menu. You can work again, And this time I will show you the stake game. So I can just like playing safe. So I will accept and stake. Then it will pop up and making this much value. So I can just confirm. It will be just like our previous non-stake game, but in this the user will have to take care of the time because it is a race between with the time. There's also there is also a audio in this game also. So this is a TTS text to speech that we have applied here. Okay. Now on this like saying the AI is creating the mystery. So the AI has created the mystery. Now we can start interacting with the village same as this, but now we have to basically we have set to 20 minutes, so we have to basically take care of this time also. I will just choose some random locations to basically show you what the end screen of this game looks like. So just confirm. Oh, sorry. I could just reject it. I will just send. And now we can choose a first location. Nothing. And again, second one this time, third one this time. Oh, not able to wait again. So I'm just showing you what the end screen of looks like because I do not know the answer. I will just investing. Okay, so now it is investing. I think this is the right answer. So now you can see the challenge successfully completed. As I have completed the challenge in the 1 minute and I have the time that I had challenged was 20 minutes. So I can just claim the reward. I can basically claim the reward and it's claiming the mathematics will show up and I can see that I'm getting the amount that I basically the potential reward that that was showing in the challenge screen. I can just click confirm. As you can see that the reward is already claimed and I can this is the transaction hash and I can click to basically copy this and I will go to Sepolia scan and I will paste this transaction paste this transaction hash and as you can see that this is the basically our hash so the transaction is successfully done. So now coming to how the server is working in this application. So I have already shown you all the front end thing, all the client server side thing. So this is the MetaVillage game. So now we will check how the server basically processes all the thing. The server is basically responsible for all handling all the game logic, the villages dialogue, the villages game location, conversion story for the game, etc. etc. The server will be receiving all this information from the client side like what is the dialogues that the AI the what are the villages that the player has interacted with and what are the dialogues are already in the server itself. So after the server basically have all the information of the game that is coming that is the user is playing, it makes a post request with the JSON payload and then the JSON payloads consist of the AI dialogues and the game current state and it makes a post request to the decentralized storage server which is a Wallet server. The Wallet server basically saves this game data on this server and it returns a unique CID, a content identifier. This content identifier is then returned again to the server and this server makes a mapping of the player with the CID with the latest CID. And what this does is we have stored the game data into the decentralized storage. Now, when the user plays the game again, the server fetches the latest CID associated with the player and makes a get request to the decentralized storage with params with CID as the params. And then this decentralized storage, which is basically a walrus server, loads the data using this CID and then sends again to the server. This way, when the basically dialogue is generated by the AI, all the basically dialogues that are generated by the AI in the particular game get saved on the decentralized storage, and when the user plays another game, this dialogue again gets to the AI, and the AI have the context of the previous dialogues. That is why it is able to basically produce a more personalized and a more better response, because it will not be basically making a story, and it will not be basically making the same dialogues, because it will try to give the user a fresh experience in the game. This is how we are using the Walrus decentralized storage. We are storing the game data into the decentralized storage. This is the whole game that we have made. Thank you.